Purposeful purposelessness, yeah. But I'm gonna be honest, that's probably something I struggle with heavily, and I'm aware of it. That's the crazy part, being able to just sit there and be okay with it. Because a lot of times I found myself trying to quickly move on to next thing, and not giving myself any breathing room, any time to just rest and recover. Because 9 times out of 10, it's like I constantly think I'm in some sort of rush. And it's like sometimes I can just relax, I can take it slow. I know I can, but there's a part of me that's just kind of not willing to do it. Do I know why? It's probably because I try and do as much as I can in a day just to be as productive or efficient in my day. But, I'm starting to realize that we can't constantly do that. I think there's a breaking point where you just need rest. You just need a rest, and you just need to be okay with that. And I'm finding it more easy now than ever. Mainly because I just be tired. I'd be playing soccer 6 out of the 7 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday I have off. Yeah. So my body be tired. And it's not even just physically, but it's just mentally also. Sometimes I think our thoughts can just be racing, and at times it's necessary. It's necessary to have our mind just constantly go. Because in some situations it's like, something has to get solved right now. Boom, you lose your job. Okay, I need to move. I need to find something. Oh, you got kicked out. Of where you live. Okay, I gotta think of something quick. Let me see all the options and available things I can do. And as soon as we solve it, I think that's when we can take a breather. Like, oh, I need that. Let me get 20 minutes, 15 minutes, just kind of just relax. And I don't know if I can necessarily say use your phone. I don't think you should, unless you play some like calm music or something. But I don't know, I feel like that also just distracts us. But in that same sentence, it's like even just our thoughts, we're constantly having thoughts, and it's like, can we not have thoughts? Can we just turn that off? And I think after letting your mind struggle, just trying to get you to do something or get you to think something, it kind of just gives up, and it's like, whatever. Sitting there, and it's like, okay, whatever thoughts I have. Maybe sometimes I have some, maybe other times I don't. Who knows? And what are the thoughts and why? Because a lot of times, I found myself just thinking random things, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, my imagination just be taking me anywhere, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Because not everything has to be okay. Let me think about what I'm gonna do tomorrow, the next day, everything. Gotta be as quick and efficient, and like, nah, we're not robots, we're humans. Like, and I think in that same sense, where we allow ourselves to be creative is where we can have some of our most impactful work, or our most impactful thoughts, or most impactful feelings even. We think of something that makes us feel some sort of way, and we have thoughts that go with it, and it's like, okay, wow, that's a lot. Or even so, it's like just finding that space to have some creative imagination, I think that's something that's important in a lot of aspects of our life. You know, being able to just be flexible. Flexible is a better word. But I guess creative also applies too. But, you know, I guess I do it without realizing it. I'll just be there. Because at some certain point, I do think so often. My mind just kind of, it's on autopilot, and my thoughts just nothing. I'm just there, just breathing. Let me just focus on breathing calmly. I was doing that earlier today. I was just there. I'm like, oh, because I was working. And at this point, it's like secondhand. It's secondhand nature or whatever. And I was just calm. I felt calm. I felt at peace for some reason. But I guess that reason was it was needed at that time, just to be there. Of course, I had music in the background, but it was soothing, if anything. It was soothing. It wasn't nothing like drill. It was nothing like that. It was like alternative, like things like that is softer. But we need to give ourselves space to breathe. That's really about it. That's what it comes down to. Give yourself space to breathe. And I guess that's my way of doing this, by creating these videos, giving myself space to breathe, to say things out loud. Just because for me personally, I think this is a good way to do it. For me personally. And I'm not much of a extroverted person, I guess you can say. But I do just I think this is something I found interesting and allows me to sort out my thoughts better. That's one thing I realized. It helps me sort out my thoughts better with clear and with intention. The intention, I have no intention. Just let my thoughts kind of roam. Does it kind of defeat the purpose in a way? But that's okay. That's okay. I've come to peace with that. I've come to terms with that. And I'm not necessarily trying to push anything on anyone. I'm just sharing my mind. And if it helps someone, then that's great. That's great. Because if anything, I don't want people to feel judged. But I guess that's the same reason we have those emotions like shame, guilt, to show us that what we're doing or what we did wasn't right. And who knows why we felt it. It could be from yourself thinking, this was weird for me, in a bad way. Like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, you feel guilty. So you reform yourself. You change the way you act in that situation. Or embarrassment. Think of embarrassment. I'm embarrassed I did this wrong. Next time, let me do it right. Let me work on it. But on the other side of the spectrum, it's like we run away from it. We run away, and it's not helpful. It shrinks our comfort zone. And at some point, if we keep running, that comfort zone is going to be so small, any challenge is going to be an insurmountable hill or fence, I guess you can say. So we got to be careful to not fall into running away. I think I'm doing fairly well with that, not running away from things. I believe it's bound to come up one day. I'm gonna have to face it one day, so might as well get it done as soon as I can. I may not be wanting to do it in 5 minutes, but let me do it in 10. Because if I genuinely don't want to do it right now, let me give myself a little bit of time. But as long as it gets done, that's all that matters. And sometimes it might not be right for if there's another person involved. So if you can explain that to them, that'd be great. Just so they aren't confused or, feel some type of way that you're doing them wrong or something. Just because you might be feeling scared, shy, embarrassed, nervous. I think those feelings are perfectly fine. I think they're great even. I think they're great if used right. It just shows that we're still human and there's still more to improve. Not to say that we always have to constantly be improving, like working so hard, working ourselves to the bone. Like, nah. But it's just an awareness that, okay, we're not necessarily perfect, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't have to be everything for everyone. And I don't have to be everything for myself. I need other people in my life just as much as other people need other people in their life. We're not stuck with only ourselves. Because it's like, it gets me thinking, do we really know ourselves completely? Do we? Or is it just some sort of illusion, not illusion, but some sort of bias that we have? Sometimes I think there is bias. We try and see ourselves in a positive or negative light depending on how we feel about ourselves. When in all reality, we are free to do anything. We are free to be anything. We are free to chase anything. We are free to anything and everything. We aren't bound to anything in some sense. But in the same sense, it's like I be thinking, like, is it because we are bound to stuff, we have attachments and labels, that things become kind of clear, or we know what means what? But I sometimes feel on the edge because it's like that attachment to it can create more conflict than positivity. But maybe that's just for the moment. Maybe we have all this conflict for the moment because in the future it's all settled. It's all said and done. That may be optimistic, but hopefully, all this conflict, all this argumentation leads to, okay, you said your point, you said my point, that's it. That's all there is to it. And that's all there will ever need to be. There's no right, there's no wrong. For the most part, we're just humans living our lives with nature, with others. We're just here. And hopefully we make decisions that benefit life around us. And I'm not saying we can always do that, but I'm just saying hopefully just one decision can just help one person. If we see an opportunity to help someone, we can. But I guess I strayed away from the whole video. I really did. I think that's about it though. I don't know. Like, sometimes I genuinely hope that we can find some sort of peace within all this turmoil as of right now. It feels like so much is going on. So many people are stressed that all said and done, we're all good. We're all good. That's what I hope for. That's genuinely what I hope for. Like, I hope all this argumentation, all of this, back and forth arguing shows us, the flaws and the holes in the systems and beliefs we have, to try and figure out a more complete picture, I guess. Because I don't know if it'll ever be complete, but a more sound, a more stable, a more sturdy foundation for living life. And maybe in the future that way of life will also just crumble and something else will replace it. But just to be here right now living, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with, people. Like, I don't have no hate for no one. Because I think when we show outward, what we feel on the inside shows outward too. And we may accidentally express it to someone else, a negative feeling. Or in a good case, a positive feeling. And they feel good about it. You're happy, you're in some good spirits, high spirits. And you talk to someone else, it's like, okay, some good vibes. That's some good vibes. You're just chilling. You're both just here right now, just chilling, vibing. Hopefully overly optimistic of me, but I hope that's what the world comes to. Other than that, though, I'm gonna just leave it off there. See ya.